Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be doing two things. One, I'm going to be probably using Outerhorror sands just to kind of get a feel for the skin a bit more because it seems neat. And the other thing to do is to try out using Bravery. Now, to put it simply, I have had people, well, not a lot of people, uh, previously when I gave my opinions on the souls, some people pointed out that my opinions were a bit outdated, and considering the fact that I learned new things about the soul while talking about them, yeah. So I'm willing to give them a shot. One of them was that someone was arguing that bravery is pretty far from useless. Now, to clarify, in my definition of useless, bravery is useless if it is just drastically inferior to the other soul options. Now, what would classify it as being drastically useless compared to the other soul options? Well, that's a fantastic question. For one, that would mean that its damage would be useless because you're facing stamina characters. Like, that just having a thing where you're useless against a whole bunch of characters, that'd be pretty awkward. But bravery does other things than boost your damage, even though that's kind of one of the bigger appeals, winning faster. So then what are the other appeals of bravery? Well, as you can see, we have the bravery fist ranged attack. Not all souls get a ranged attack. And if you can actually land it, maybe it'd be useful. I don't think I landed it yet, so unless I land it, it's all that move's useless to me in particular. But maybe someone either maybe I'll get good with landing it, or maybe other people are good at landing it. One of the two. So, okay, maybe until I manage to make the bravery attack work, let's move on. It also gives you one extra speed. That's one reason why people like integrity on Helptail, extra speed. So maybe that's the little key thing to making bravery the thing, except integrity gives you more speed, so unless you're landing bravery fist. Okay, so like going by that round, unless you are landing bravery fist and you're facing a stamina character, bravery is a direct downgrade from integrity. So just to clarify, if you are facing stamina characters and not landing your bravery fist, you are hurting yourself by not picking integrity. So we're gonna just play matches and see. Can we get rounds against just random players? And an argument was if you know exactly who you're playing against, it's better. Except this is a game where it doesn't tell you who you're playing against. So you have to count on other information that you don't get normally in the game. Like, yes, there are certain bits of information that might help you, but we can't assume we know who it is. Part of the value of the soul is being useful when you don't know who you're facing. Let's see. So, let's keep going here. We're facing another stamina character, so the same thing applies here. Being that if I don't land Bravery Fist, I am actively hurting myself by not taking Integrity. And some of you might point out that I'm just using Help Tell right now. Why don't I use other things, like Cleaver? And that's a good point. I'll use Cleaver next round, just to make sure that I'm exploring the other choices. Maybe Help Tell is just the worst possible character for Bravery, or maybe it's just because I'm facing stamina characters. But like I'm going to be honest, I'm coming into this with the bias of I do not think I will conclude that bravery is useful. I should probably state that I am coming into this with a pretty big bias against bravery. If I turn out to because right now bravery is doing absolutely nothing for me. Like I'm at least landing some bravery fist, which I guess is cool. Is that worth giving up the jump and speed from integrity? I don't think so for a moment. But maybe the next round we'll randomly face against someone who happens to be using a health character. Like, I'm sure Bravery's fantastic. We just need to face against a health character. No, I don't actually think it's fantastic. Again, I'm biased here. I am incredibly biased. Honestly, okay, real talk. Bravery. It shouldn't just be more damage against health characters. Why not make it take even a slight bit more stamina, right? Like, I'm not saying make Bravery take 50 stamina from Sans. No, like, if it even took zero point 0.1 more stamina, that means every 10 hits you take 1 more stamina, right? It doesn't have to be a huge amount. Zero point 0.1 sounds a bit useless, I admit, but you get the picture, right? Raise the numbers and you'll have bigger numbers. Okay, they scored a hit on me. Thankfully, I'm no longer a health character, or that could have been bad. Then we'll just drop this axe right here, drop this zone, and then you know what? We'll drop another attack right there. Oh wow, I'm running out of resources fast. I forgot about how durable these menaces are. Then I'll drop a trap. Unsurprisingly, they do avoid it. Then I'll just drop this zone here. I actually do manage to score some hits. Let's hit them with the zone and then the trap. Another zone. Perfect. Killing them regains stamina. That's the key thing. You gotta kill people in this character to regain stamina. I remembered I had an axe. Don't worry. I might have forgotten. Another kill regenerates my stamina. See how, like, the stamina is really bad? Except if I score hits, it's not quite as bad. You're slow, so I can score those hits on you. In this case, I will admit determination might be a bit of a liability because you're giving extra stamina. It might be. It's debatable on whether or not it would actually be a liability. Okay. I'm going to just see. Can I... Okay, now I'm just going to run. And did I get them the trap? I did. Perfect. That trap means that they are going to have a drop of health. Thank goodness this round timer is long. Oh boy, you use your rage. An interesting call. Well, I'm about to run out, but it doesn't matter because you're dead. GG. Okay, so that was a good first round of Outerhorror. I actually kind of liked how that played out. I do think that if I was playing against better players, I probably would have gotten decimated, but I also don't think I was too good at Outerhorror. So I think it kind of balanced out. So let's keep going. Let's see who our next random Sans will be. Hopefully this time it is a character of health. That way I can hopefully see and measure how useful bravery is when it's actually intended to be used. Like this is kind of the one of my points though, right? I'm in a random server. I'm not facing health characters, but this is like a pool of what, three, two fights so far? I just don't like that this is even something that can happen. Just not facing any health characters. Like, and if just one person in your lobby is using health characters and everyone else isn't, well, I hope you're changing Sola frequently. Otherwise, you're just wasting your potential. Okay, I'm liking this so far. I'm actually pretty fast, making it easier to dodge attacks, except Integrity would give me more speed here. So unless I land Bravery Fist, I am actively hurting myself by taking Bravery. Like, if it just boosted stamina drain slightly, there would be a better case for bravery. Now, do we want a way to have increased stamina drain against dodge characters? That's a separate question. That's a separate question if we are okay with that. But that would make bravery better. Whether or not it's a good change is a different discussion. And I'll leave that to people who are better at the game than me because I have not considered myself to be knowledgeable about this game for quite a while now. But yeah, I feel like my main arguments would be solved by that. It's just, again, stamina drain could get weird. There we go. Okay, I didn't like using cleaver there at all. But I'm going to commit to this. I'm not going to do one of these for justice because let's be honest, justice is a meme. So let's see. What is justice? Isn't it just projectile? I know one game, I think it was Ultimate Sans Battles, had a really good take on justice in terms of effectiveness. Okay, it does give one speed. Okay, it does give one speed. In fact, every soul, but kindness gives speed and determination. But determination, you know, it's best soul, so that's okay. I hope someone's saving the comments over me calling determination best soul. Yeah, kindness. Kindness is another wacky soul. I'm not fond of kindness. I'm pretty sure it's also kind of a bad soul. But like, okay, maybe bravery isn't useless against characters that are health, but I am not facing any health characters. And even if you're lucky and you face lots of health characters, having a situation where your soul is kind of irrelevant, kind of wacky in my opinion. There we go. Let's see. Again, having a ranged attack's pretty cool. Definitely makes bravery slightly more relevant, especially if you could land them. And now, there's one thing. The main argument I think someone might make about kind of bravery, I learned something very, very interesting not too long ago, actually. Bravery, apparently, its fist can deal 900 damage to a Sans that it hits, a health character specific. And I don't have determination, so I'm just gone now. Apparently, it can deal 900 damage. The catch, because I've spoken to a lot of people, I've never seen this happen, but I spoke with a number of people on this. The catch is that it pretty much never does it because they have to stand in the whole Bravery Fist and not move out of it. So realistically, it's pretty much never going to deal 900 unless I guess you get someone to swap the sands into it or a kind or a patience barriers them in. But yeah, I was discussing bravery with people because I'm very skeptical about bravery. People have made arguments for the souls. No one argues determination is bad. At least I don't think so. I think that's just objectively wrong. No one argues that integrity is bad. Let's see. I personally like going through the souls. I think I'm going to try this again. I think no question kindness, bravery, and justice are just kind of bad. I won't say useless, even though no, I will say useless bravery and justice and kindness. I don't know. Like yes, they have their benefits. I don't see the appeal of the souls, if that makes sense. I will reiterate, I've not considered myself good at the game in months. So I could be easily wrong on this, but let me just in my opinions, okay. Back when I last used kindness, months and months ago, maybe they added new healing items since then, and I'm just old and dying. But giving up speed for healing items that don't even come to you, it's like a worse help tail. Especially since you can just get low tier healing items with bad RNG. So it's RNG based healing on top of that. So that's kind of scuffed. We are facing a health character here. I just noticed. I wasn't actually paying attention because I'm trying to make sure to, if I'm going to say things that are wrong, I want to at least be clear while saying things that might be wrong. So, okay, if you like kindness, I know some people will point out how if you have kindness for long enough, you can heal enough to make a heal profit over determination. Technically true, but determination on characters other than Helptail gives effectively 99 more health. On Helptail, apparently it's like 250. So on normal characters, you need a lot of healing items. I think it's every 30 seconds you get a healing item. So let's just be generous and say with good healing items that I remember, it's like 20 per heal. So if it's every 30 seconds and the best one's 20 per heal and you just 100% the time get the 20 per heal. Trying to think, what's the math on that? You need like about 2.5 minutes to full heal. That sounds suboptimal. Personally, that sounds suboptimal. If I have all those numbers right, I could have them wrong. I'm I'm trying to be very careful with leaving in I could be wrong in this. Alright, let's just drop a bear trap on this person. And now, also, while I'm going through this, I should probably also note that they have expressed intent, the, I guess, staff development team, to rework things involving the Chara team. So I'm not just like complaining about this without being aware of that. I am very much just kind of ranting about Souls for how long you've been going? 15 minutes? 20? But yeah, some of these things will probably be rectified in the future. Oh, did that fall off? Is that supposed to fall off? Is that's either cool intentional design or an oof bug. I can't tell which. Wait, I should probably drop a bear trap. They're using perseverance. I feel like the bleed would kind of mess up perseverance. Oh no, they have determination. I have to kill them a second time. Okay, come on over, Axe. Oh my gosh, their resistance. Oh my gosh, that only did 10 damage. Let's try it again on them. Maybe this time we'll get them with it. Okay, come on. Come on. Oh, look at that. It did 14 that time. Now that's some heavy damage. Okay, don't worry. I have another spinning axe coming in. But okay, yeah. In the case of Bravery, it does have the effectiveness of dealing more damage. But now let's get into that, okay? Since I've kind of gone around its situations where it isn't useful. Let's finally talk about when it is useful. Because, you know what? I call it useless, but I'll do it some justice here. And talk about when it is useful, which is facing health characters. You deal 30% higher melee damage. So, what's the highest? Let's quickly do some math with the very best melee weapon. Before talking about, well, we've already kind of covered Bravery Fist. If you can land it, you can deal some solid damage. 150, I think, is like the most consistent damage you'll see. 175, we'll get back to that. And then 150 with like that. Cleaver is 100. Anyway, you can get some good damage on it. And yeah, like again, if you actually land it, I can't deny, even if they get out of it, you deal some solid damage here. Right now, I can use a ranged attack to put pressure on enemies. That's pretty cool. That just kind of goes into, yeah, if you can't land it, bravery is just kind of a bad soul. But now, into the damage. Into the damage. With the weapon I'm using right now, it deals 100 per hit. 30% of 100 is 30, so this would be 130 per hit. That's okay damage, especially if I land 5 hits, that becomes 150 net total damage. Now, on a character with a lot of health, like Revenge, I think Revenge at their peak had either 1500 or 1750, let's say 1500. That means in order to kill Revenge normally with a weapon like Cleaver, not accounting for bleed, it would require, let's see, for 1500, 15 hits without bleed. By dealing 30% more, however, well, you'd win 30% faster, so I'm pretty sure that would take like 12 hits. Okay, so that's a pretty big difference, right? You get to win in less hits. And okay, yeah, that's not useless. I'm still calling it useless, mostly because of the issue of facing stamina characters, though. And also, you have to give up a whole life for that. And to go beyond that, here's my counterpoint to the whole yes, you win 30% faster hits. Again, ignoring Bravery Fist, because it's undeniably useful if you can land it consistently. It's undeniably useful if you can land it consistently. Let's see. So, with the damage, yes, 30% more, but if you have a second health bar, you're going to deal roughly double damage because the damage you did on your first life, you can theoretically do on your second life. And with the extra survivability on top of that. So, personally, I think determination in terms of melee damage gives you the better package. It really comes down to, and will that one speed give you more health through dodging more than determination? Or are you actually going to be landing that bravery fist? Like right here, if I land it, that would have been fantastic. But I missed it. And now I'm on the run. But the speed does help me dodge. And the reason I'm not going into melee is I'm not actually sure if I beat them in melee fight. Oh, I do. Never mind. Oh, wow. Okay. That changes everything. I didn't realize I beat them in melee. GG. Like there, you saw a situation where bravery contributed, except by determination would have had the second life to fight them again. So, okay, putting all memes aside of calling it useless repeatedly, right? Just putting all the memes because honestly, I did not plan out any of this. So it probably sounds like I'm dumb. I mean, I'm dumb, but bravery is not a true 100% useless soul. There are situations where bravery is undeniably useless, and the presence of useless scenarios for bravery make me lean towards it's not a good soul, especially since in its situations it shines, it's very limited outside of, again, landing the bravery fist. Landing the bravery fist can theoretically be the best thing ever. It's just the lack of consistency, and the lack of consistency, I do believe, could be corrected. And if it were to be corrected, there would be a better argument for it to be a useful soul. The extra speed is handy. More damage can be fantastic. It's really just a matter of that one little glaring thing of consistency. I think I had something else I was going to say, and I just kind of slipped my mind. Yes, kindness has undeniable value if you last long enough with it. I don't think it's ideal to aim for matches lasting that long. In the case of justice, it definitely needs a rework or something, or we need rework other things to make justice more pertinent. As for perseverance, integrity, determination, I think are the remaining souls, right? Am I forgetting patience? Okay, people have made a case for patience. I would have to check out patience again. Now that they've buffed it with healing, it might be better, since you can now do more drawn out fights with patience. Oh, wow, this is going on way longer than I meant to. Well, who cares? In the case of patience, it can now do way more drawn out fights. It actually makes sense for patience. Not a lot of healing, though, I will note. It's 1 every 5 seconds. So to keep building on that, if you can trap people with patience successfully, and you don't necessarily have to land it, if you just kind of force them to move in specific ways, it can be useful. If you can actually land it, it has a use, right? The reason why I don't consider patience without trying it out, I might make a video where I try out patience next. The reason I don't really consider it all that useful is because of the fact that you're giving up the other benefits, right? You're giving up, what, 99 health, 92 health to use patience. And is trapping enemies going to provide that value to you? If it does, great. You made the correct choice on your soul if it's providing the same value as determination. And again, it does meet that more easily with the +1 speed and healing. It's not just the healing and trap. But yeah, that barrier can match the value determination. How would it match the value determination theoretically? The value of determination gives you extra survivability on top of effectively doubling your damage output. So, patience can trap a sands and allow your entire team to hit the sands with way more ease, with such as a bravery fist. Under that specific circumstance of trapping someone, yes, patience can be fantastic, but I don't think patience is probably that, like without using it, I don't think it's that good of a soul without coordination from teammates. And if I'm going to be honest, I think a Undertale Last Corridor with coordination is probably a bit of a different game because generally people are just running up and smacking the sands and using whatever abilities they have whenever they're not on cooldown. Which brings, okay, I've already gone into how integrity is not useless, and I will very much stand by my opinions that determination is the best soul, even if you present me proof. Because, come on, it's so consistent. It's so consistent. Okay. If it's not clear, I value consistency very, very highly. Unless whatever I'm giving up, if I'm giving up consistency for something really cool, maybe. But generally, I really want that consistency. That's what determination is. Integrity requires you to dodge really well to make it worth it, since in the case of integrity, those dodges have to be worth having double health. In the case of perseverance, you have to either be tanking normally to get the defensive abilities of determination equal to, well, double your health at least, or alternatively, perseverance has to allow you to get the extra aggression potential that you could have gotten from integrity or determination. Because integrity lets you rush down much more easily, all that. So I went through a lot of things, honestly, mostly just clarifying my stances on the souls to make me sound slightly less dumb, slightly. But yeah, the only soul that's probably like uh, everyone can agree is 100% useless is justice, right? Range damage, that's cool. This is a game where everyone fights with melee. Reworks will change that. And again, everything I've just gone into detail complaining about, I've seen. I mean, look at this, right? Flying Skull and the rest of the developers, after they've gotten on the team, they've been updating way more. So while I'm complaining about these problems, and maybe these have been partially nitpicks, I don't know. That's for all of you to decide if they're nitpicks or not. But they've been updating a lot. They've confirmed that Chara reworks are going to happen, and these problems with souls that might make them lack consistency might actually be able to be changed. Like, if I were to look at any of these, if Bravery had a better use against stamina characters, it would have more consistency. If ranged weapons were more relevant, Justice might actually be a high tier pick. Maybe. I would be shocked at the day Justice outshines Determination, though. A day where kindness just functions differently. I'm not sure how I would change kindness. I'm really not. Unless you just give it more consistency with healing items. like giving it a better pool of items like legendary hero, face stake, except come on, 60 health, 40 health. I could already see the people complaining about how someone is holding Golden Pan, Kindness, and on UF Frisk, sitting in the corner, just constantly eating face steaks, butterscotch pies, and legendary heroes, and of course, instant noodles. Developers, please nerf Kindness, Golden Pan, UF Frisk. What do you mean you can't use Golden Pan, UF Frisk? That doesn't stop them. Yeah, it'd either be UF Frisk using kindness, I think, or Golden Pan. I guess Helptail could use it. Honestly, eh. Oh, right, I only have one life. I keep forgetting that. It's weird changing how I'm playing. You'd be a lot more precise. Bravery. Well, any soul really that doesn't give you a second life, you have to be a lot more precise. You can't just give up a life just because you're memeing. Alright, so I think I did enough here. I'm curious what you all think about just kind of going into a bit more detail about like the souls. I went way longer than I normally do, but I feel like this is an interesting thing to talk about. I really do. And I am very interested to see how the developers will opt to fix it. They might do something that I didn't consider. Kindness is especially a weird one. Every 30-second heal could so easily become broken with items too powerful. Let's see. Well, that's it though. I hope you all enjoyed. So I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.